Hi guys, welcome back to What the Frig podcast. This is part 2 of the episode with Drea. I did not record intros and outros with her. I just did one like usual, so putting these in here now for you guys. But this is the part 2 with Drea, and I'm excited. These are going to be more topics that are lighthearted and funny, whereas last week's episode was more focused on like our health and mental wellness and growth. So here's the good stuff here, and I hope you guys enjoy it. What's your take on the theory that men don't marry the person or the woman that they love? They marry the person that they're just with at the time
when they're ready.
When they're like ready, or like the girlfriend's like pushing them. Have you heard that theory?
Yeah, I have. And I kind of agree with it. Yeah. There are plenty of people, I think, that can say that they were with the right person wrong time and they're just not ready to commit. I definitely agree with that. I mean, I don't even know how to even like go about it, but I think men have this like trigger where they're like, I'm ready, whether that be at 23, whether that be at 45, I don't know. Some men have it earlier or later.
Yeah. But
I definitely think that men have a different like timeline, and just it clicks for them at a certain point when everything is lining up perfectly. But then again, I also think that there is some part of it where maybe it is the right girl. I don't know. But
yeah, I mean, you see it in like movies a lot where they're like, they find out that like their first lover or whatever is getting married, and they like freak out and they're like, stop the wedding. And I'm like, okay, I don't know about that, but I do think a lot of guys like will fall in love with someone, or they'll be like, that's the person, but then for whatever reason there's other factors going on, like they're going through a trauma, their girlfriend's got to move for a job, and then they just like don't want to deal with it. So then, you know, you break up, years go by, you meet other people, and then there's always like that person, like, oh, like the one that got away type of thing. So I do think it's a real thing, and I always tell myself that I'm the person
I'm
that all these
delusional.
Men, it's a little delusional, but I also like fully believe it for a few people.
I fully believe it for a couple people as well,
that they're gonna look one day and be like, oh shoot. I
mean,
I have a big fantasy of meeting certain people at a wedding one day when all my friends are together, and they're like, oh fuck, like
literally. No, I've seriously,
and I'm dating like, you know, a model or something.
No, I have a delusion as well. It has been a fact for one person, and I have confirmation for that from that one person.
Juicy.
No, it's from my from my high school ex-boyfriend. His parents still like me, still, you know.
Same.
His parents ask about me all the time. I actually haven't talked to him in a while, but it's real. I'm delusional too, where I know I'm the one that got away. Like, especially if I did nothing wrong and I kind of was like on them, what happens?
Right. Yeah. It's always on them.
It's always on them. The only time I've ever broken up with a serious boyfriend has been on me, but it's because like it just wasn't working out for me. But other than that, it's always been on them. So I'm like, I rather just live in Delulu land and know that I'm the one that got away for everything.
So how do you feel when you see things on social media, or you hear people like getting engaged and
see my eyes rolling,
and pregnancies and stuff like that? And like, do you have friends who will look at you and be like, I don't want to say unsupportive, but unsupportive in a way where it's like, oh, like, when are you gonna figure this out? Like, you're 28, like, you know, time's
I hope not.
Time's a ticking, because I mean, they're not wrong. Time is a ticking, like, for, you know, a child's sake. Or do you have friends that are like, oh, everything's great, we're young, we're fine, like, because 30 is the new 20? Like, what is your take on that?
Well, the crazy side of me would be like, fuck them. But I'm a new woman.
I like that response.
I'm a new woman. Well, I'm trying to be better, and I'm trying to think of it as like my being happy for them is only going to make me happier, if that makes sense. Like going to their weddings or baby showers or whatever, like I can be sad and depressed and be like, why isn't this happening to me? Or I could be happy and think that like, wow, my friends are going through this. That means that my time will come soon. And when that time comes, like they're going to be just as happy as I am for them. Like just because my friends are winning in that aspect doesn't mean that I, can't be happy for them.
Yeah.
Do I get in these moods where I'm like, damn, like I wish that I was in that position? But I've been, doing a lot of work on myself to know that like everyone's journey is different. And also like they didn't go to school for 7 years for a certain degree. Like,
right.
I think that if I was really like jealous, I would have to switch my entire life to what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Like I wouldn't want to be any other, career. I wouldn't want to do any other career. Like just because they have an amazing boyfriend for them doesn't mean that they would ever be an amazing boyfriend for me. So I put it in that perspective to try to like make myself feel better and also know that I'm not the only one. Like people go through breakups all the time. People are engaged and then, or break up. People get divorced. It's temporary. Everything's very temporary. So, I mean, am I single now? Yes, it's very temporary, but I've also been just doing a lot of self work on being present and like I'm never going to have this time being 28, being now single at 28. I'm never going to have that time when I'm 38 in 10 years. Like who knows, I might have like 2 kids, a husband, like a mortgage, a lot more responsibility than I do now. Right now I'm just having fun, paying my bills, traveling, doing podcasts with my friends. Like that's not going to always be a thing. I mean, once we get older, like things start to change so quickly. So
it's true. I mean, I don't look at it as like, I feel bad for those people because they are, settled down.
Yeah.
They can't just do what they want anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah, they have someone that loves them. But like, that's kind of overrated.
But also it's not even that. Like I love you as a friend. Like
right, yeah.
I think that we put so much weight on romantic relationships that we don't see like our other like friendships or family that love us. Like, I mean, I would do anything for you and I would do anything for my friends. And that is a type of love that we don't always talk about.
It's true.
So, I mean, yeah, they have someone to love, but like that love could be fake as fuck too. Your love between your family and your friends, most friends, I mean, I'm not talking about all friends, but most friends is very genuine. And I know, and I'm sure like you have a genuine heart. We all are genuinely like wanting to find that person. But I mean, I get to hang out with my friend all the time. We get to have fun working.
Right.
But like, I don't know. It's a perspective and it's a mind shift that like I have tried to look at more recently. Especially now that I'm going through kind of the more processing my emotions instead of like traveling and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's made me want to like think things in a way that everything has always worked out. So why wouldn't this also work out in my favor?
Yeah. Interesting too, because those friends that are like in the different life stage, like you really start to see like you are in such a different life stage. Like I can't just text them and be like, oh, do you want to go to dinner tomorrow? Because My one friend's like, I'm not free till after the holidays because of like all the family coming
Yeah.
in and traveling. And it's like they have so many other obligations now that they have someone, which just kind of comes with the territory. But
Yeah.
part of me gets annoyed by it. I'm like, yeah, you should never like, they say like, oh, don't let your boyfriend become your whole life. But I guess when you're married, it's different. But I don't know. I'm just like, I don't see those people nearly as much because their headspace is just so different.
Well, that's why you need your single friends. I think having single friends, and if you don't have single friends, get some, because you need to have, like, obviously I cherish all the friends that I have that are in serious relationships. Like, I have like some of my best friends from high school are on the verge of being married or getting engaged and married or already married. Same with some of my college friends. And as much as I love and cherish them, we're in different stages of our lives. But I also have my single girlies that I feel great doing things with, because I know that like we're in the same stage of life. They may be a little bit younger than me, but age is about a thing. I'm literally 21. I think I'm 21.
Right.
But yeah, I think you need to have friends that you can lean on in those times. Because I don't know, like when I was in a relationship, like I hung out with him more. And
yeah, I mean, you naturally want to be with the person you're attracted to and you want to see, but it's like you have to remember like the other people.
Exactly.
When you're married, it's like it's different.
Well, we won't know that until we get there, I don't think. But I do realize that I think it really depends, because I have friends that are married. One in particular that's married. Actually, the two I'm thinking about take marriage completely different. I have one friend who got married super young and she kind of disappeared off the face of the earth, which is fine, you know, like everyone is going to go through life stages differently. But I have another friend who's married and we make an effort to like see each other when I'm home. Like they make an effort to come out and visit me. So I think it kind of just depends. I don't think that marriage is an excuse, really, in my opinion.
No,
and being
I don't
in
either.
a relationship is not an excuse. Like, you make time for the people that matter to you, and if someone isn't making time for you, you unfortunately just don't matter to them as much as someone else. Right. Which is like, it sucks to say that, but it just is the reality of things. And as we get older, I've noticed that like I'm not going to put in effort into friends, family, relationships, romantic or not, that aren't either A, serving me, or B, are like fueled only by me. Like that I'm the only one reaching out. I'm the only one making plans. Like I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm too tired. Yeah. I just like don't want to do it.
All right, so one more hot take before we end this.
We love hot takes.
I may have to cut this out because I don't want to offend anyone. But it's like, it literally is a lot of my thoughts. Super random and off topic from what we've been discussing.
Yeah, but healthy stuff we've been discussing.
Yeah. The topic of bachelorette parties.
Oh God,
is something I've had a lot of thoughts on over the past years. And
me recently, but yes. Yeah. Go for it. Pop off, queen.
The main point is just that they've gotten very overdone.
Out of control.
Over expensive. And to get like a summarization of it, like I think the idea is like you do this for your friend and they'll do it for you when it's like your time or whatever. Like you're going to go spend the money on them and make them feel special and vice versa.
Yeah.
But recently I heard someone say, and it's so true, like, okay, your friend has their party at like 26. What if you don't get married for like 5 to 7, 10 years?
Yeah. They
probably now have kids and like all these other things. They probably can't just like go drop $5,000 to like go with you to Miami and so then they're going to be like, oh, well, I have this to do and I have this to do and I can't afford that and I can't go. But you expected me to do all these things when it was, you know, convenient for you. And obviously I was single too. So it's like, why is that okay? And I do think this is going to happen. You know, I have friends that are married and they're thinking about kids. So I'm like, there's no way you're going to like drop the same amount of money that I dropped and go fly across the country for like 3 days
Yeah.
when you have like a kids and husbands. Like, you're just not going to do that.
I think it depends, but I do agree it's gotten way out of control. I actually, one of my close friends was in 4 or 5 weddings. I think it was 4 weddings this year. That's 4 bachelorette parties. That's 4
That's a lot.
trips that you have to go on or are, you know, should go on for the bride. Which is like, it's fine. But I think people have to understand that we're all in different like tax brackets at this point. We're not all college students now. Like, we all make different amount of money. But I think it depends too, because the last bachelorette party I went to, we went to Vegas. It was super fun. And there was one girl who literally has 3 kids, and she got there and she like had so much fun or whatever. So I think it depends on the person. But as of recently, I have been invited to a bachelorette party, and we're going to Cabo, which sounds super fun, but we're only going to be there for 2 days. Like, that's a lot of money to drop in 2 days. And I love this person to death. So I'm willing to do it. And I think this will be my only bachelorette trip potentially in 2024. Mm-hmm. But I also think that people need to respect people's money and time. Also, bachelorette trips, that's a new thing. It used to be just like one night. Yeah. Where you would like all go out and get trashed and hire a stripper and call it a day. Yeah. It didn't have to be this whole like 5-day party.
I think people just need to, like you said, be more aware, because like on some of the ones I've been on, like I was never asked about a budget. I was just told like, here's what you owe. And, you know, my parents were like, she's your best friend. Like, it doesn't really matter. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to obviously do it. But I just think people should be more aware. It's like, I have my own expenses, and like, maybe I was planning a vacation for myself or something, and now I can't do that because I have to go do this. It's like, I don't want to say our generation is selfish, but in a way, like, brides can be blinded because they're just like, they're so happy, they're so in love, they want to go like do this thing that they see on TikTok and Instagram, and like, I'm like, that's great and good for you, but also I have my own things I have to do. Like, I don't get paid on a normal basis.
And bridal showers and bridal parties and engagement parties. Let's just like get rid of all of that fucking shit and just get married. Lot.
I mean, this is a hot take actually, but like, I'm sorry, you fell in love and I owe you a present? You owe me a present. I'm alone and I'm single. Like, you found love. Is that not your present? Is your wedding not your present? That like, you get to do this? I'm sorry, I have to go buy you a gift now because I'm alone? Hot take. That's a hot take.
Hot take. This is also a hot take, and I don't know if this makes me selfish or not.
I'm very selfish, I've learned.
But I haven't bought any of my friends anything for their weddings. Like, I love you guys so much. Like, I'm looking at the camera. I love you so much, but I literally cannot afford to even breathe out here. Yeah. So I'm so sorry. I will repay you back one day with many kisses and hugs.
Do you tell them that before the wedding? Like, hey,
no, they're not gonna. No.
Really, because I feel like some of my friends would like, they would notice that and they'd be like,
No, I mean, I think the weddings I've been to, like, one of them I was in the wedding, so I was like, I'm your present. I'm here. Okay. Other one, it was my cousin, so I just let my dad like be involved with that. I'm like, my dad will get it. Relatable. The most recent wedding I went to, I like flew there, so it was more like I forgot. It wasn't because like I didn't get them a present. The more recent one that I'm going to, it depends on what my budget is, because I also have to pay for a full-on bachelorette trip to Cabo, and then also an Airbnb in Washington for the actual wedding, which I think is whatever. I'll spare my judgment.
Yeah, I think the other thing for me too is like, I just don't want any of that when I get married. Like, I don't want a big Bachelorette,
Me
3
neither.
days
I
in
literally,
Nashville.
we've talked about this. Like,
I don't want
to
any
do
of that. And people were like, oh, well, I'm like, I don't want any of that. I don't care. Like, I might do like something small, like one day with people, and I'll be like, you want to come? Great. You don't want to come? I totally respect it, because that's insane.
Would you have a bridal party?
I don't know about that either. I don't really want a wedding. So.
Really?
Well, I
You
do.
just want to get hitched?
I want
Pictures?
I've been saying this for years. I gotta find a man in general, but a man that will like be down for this. I don't want a big wedding. I don't really want a small wedding. I want to get married in front of the Eiffel Tower in Paris, like no tents or anything, just like at dawn.
Yeah.
When there's like no one around. My immediate family will be there because they're not going to miss that. And then I will tell my friends, hey, I'm doing this. You're welcome to fly to Paris. You don't have to, because that's crazy.
Oh, wait, I think have we talked about this? Because that's like, I don't want to do it in Paris. Don't get me wrong. But I have always said, like, since I was in high school, I feel like that I want to get married in Spain where my parents got married.
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah, it's like, I think I showed you even the video of it. It's super, like, it's a small church. So, like, I don't even know how many people can fit there. But my whole thing would be, like, fly into Barcelona, do one night in either Barcelona or Ibiza, because Ibiza is like a hour and a half flight from Barcelona. It's close. Come back, go to my mom's town and like hang out there for a couple days, get married, and then from there, like ship myself off somewhere else. But that's what I'm saying is, like, if you're already going to pay for a bachelorette trip, might as well make it like a week of just wedding stuff where you do like the bridal shower, the bachelorette, whatever.
I think that's better too.
And it's just like an all together like fun week instead of like having to sporadically put it in like different spots out of the year. That way people don't have to, like, obviously it is an expense to fly to Europe. Like, don't get me wrong, that is an expensive flight. But if you really calculate like how much you're spending overall on the wedding, like you're spending money on the bachelorette, you're spending money on bridal showers, whatever. You're spending money on the actual wedding itself. Why not just do it all in one weekend, all in the same place? And that way you're like, especially for people who live far away, because don't live in Oregon, which is where a lot of my family and friends are, or in California, might as well just have everyone there and then make it a whole big thing. Yeah, that's my whole thing. So if you ever want to get married in Spain, let me know.
Yeah, I'm like, it'll be very interesting who is
I'll come to Paris.
I know, I'm not worried about some people.
Yeah, I'd go.
I'm like,
like I have any excuse to leave the country.
Send out that invitation, and I'm like,
Dre's gonna be the first one
and
to
they're gonna be
RSVP.
like, oh, she had no like engagement party, no bridal shower, no nothing. Like, I don't want to fly to Paris, but like, are you gonna actually fly to Paris? I did all that for you, and it was like 5 years ago, and it was, I don't know. Yeah, I'm curious to see who will step up, but also I'm not gonna pitch a fit if no one wants to, because I just am aware that that's a big expense, and I like honestly don't care if people are. I care about my immediate family being there, and that's literally it.
Well, a big part of me going to Europe also is that a lot of my family is still in Europe. So for them, it would be a lot easier for me to actually get married there and have like my grandparents fly. But it would be a lot easier for us to go there, get married, because most of my family lives in Europe, than it would be for all of my family in Europe to come to the United States.
It would just look a lot better in Europe too.
Aesthetically. Yeah, I know. With the lace dress and, here we are planning our weddings and both of us just getting ghosted. It's fine. It's fine. But anyways.
Yeah.
Let's abolish all bridal things.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's great if you want to have a big $5,000 weekend. I just think you need to like make it more of like if you can't do this, I totally get it, or just like put that energy out there, because I I haven't been to one where it's like that. I haven't seen people talk about ones where they felt like they could say no.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, well, you don't care about me as a friend. And it's like,
that's kind of fucked up. If that's the
I
thing,
mean, I've never had someone say that, but I feel like that's the energy that
yeah.
would be put out if you were like, no, like,
yeah,
so
exactly.
That was just my little
hot take.
Yeah.
Well, cheers.
Hot take on that. But any final thoughts before we sign off today, Drea?
No. Well, yes, I do have a final thought. My final thought is I'm manifesting that the rest of this year is
not much left of it.
Not much left of it, but the rest of this year treats us well, and I'm manifesting good energy into our lives, and I'm excited for what is to come this next year. And yeah, I'm just manifesting good energy. We need good energy. We need to stage this bitch. Honestly, you heard it first. I will be staging this apartment.
It's going to be an explicit episode.
Yeah, this is going to be an explicit episode of just me staging the apartment.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yes, good energy, good vibes.
Good vibes. And not giving a fuck as much as we usually do. I mean, you don't give a fuck. I showed
really
her.
Don't.
Yeah, I showed her this video. It was like, I'm hard on the wait, what was it? I have a baddie on the outside, a saddie on the inside, and I live by that. But I'm trying not to be as saddie on the inside, more of baddie inside outside.
You just have to turn your emotions off.
You're talking to the queen of emotions. Queen of emotions.
I'm pretty good at turning them off. So.
I know. I need to channel more your energy, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you for coming on again.
Woo-hoo.
I'm sure you'll be back in the future.
You'll see me again for sure. We'll do like, we should do like a recap of like the end of the year, like in January. Yeah, we can do like a end of the year recap.
It was a very unplanned episode. So
yeah.
Next time,
I mean, because I'm home right now, so
yeah, because she has no job.
Because I'm literally jobless.
So, all right. Well, thank you, and we'll see you in the new year.
Yeah. Cheers.